what looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, wind and haze, bound for better days. It's my life and my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
All right, welcome to TGIF. Tanner Grover invites friends. It is day number 15,563 of being me. And some days, I just wish I could quit me. I don't know, I'm kind of a love fool, a bit of a hopeless romantic. And people in my generation, we have a hard time connecting with one another. We've been coerced to join these things called dating apps, right? You make a profile, you're swiping left or swiping right. You're swiping so much that after a while, you feel dirty, right? It's as if you might contract something. And some of us probably have. But thankfully, there's an organization out there that's getting people off of these apps and into real life connection. They've thrown us a lifeline. It's called SOS. Now, I'm not talking about that hit ABBA song. I'm talking about Stick I'm Swiping. And you all know I love a good acronym. So with me today are the Cupid curators of those meet cutes, and they have me at hello. We have Emily Ambrose, who is celebrating her birthday month, and she is patiently awaiting someone to gift her a trusty steed. And by trusty steed, I literally mean a horse. She wants a horse, okay? And we have Gracie Kilpatrick, who has a mild obsession with pop movies, and she's patiently awaiting a phone call from Hollywood to join season 2 of Off Campus. All right, what's up, Emily? What's up, Gracie?
I can't.
10 out of 10, no notes on that intro.
No
like,
notes.
I think
I have
that
tears.
that is, yeah, that I think we're gonna steal that and start using it for all of our promo materials.
Good,
Belmont,
yeah.
Belmont, if you're watching this, I'm ready.
You could be like the older professor, like the professor, the beautiful, like
Yeah, I'm
professor
definitely
on
at
campus.
professor age.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be a student.
Or you could be a non-traditional student
Ooh.
and you sweep him off his feet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could buy all the younger kids
Yeah.
booze.
I didn't mean to say older professor. You're a very young professor.
I'm
or
such
older
a
student.
professor.
However you want to spin it, there's definitely a storyline in there for that genre of television. So I'm not worried about it. They'll figure it out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what's up? How are you two doing?
Oh my god, so good.
So good. Yeah. I think this summer's just flown by, and
Since February, our first event, it feels like it's flown by.
Mhm.
I feel like we're coming up on our 13th event, and back in February, this seemed like so far away, and like, no way, we're not gonna get there. Like, this is
yeah,
not real.
I thought it would do a couple, would try it out, test the waters. And lo and behold.
Like,
Yeah.
our very first event sold out.
Yeah.
Like,
it's been really well received. Like, people have been really interested, which is amazing.
yeah. I mean,
That's
branching out, going out of like Portland, not just staying in Portland, and then also just giving it that twist that really no other local singles event has. Like the all inclusiveness, where it be age, gender identity, sexual orientation, like all of that has just really, I think it's just something completely different that Maine hasn't seen before.
Yeah. Well, I really want to get into all of it. And the first thing that I like to do on this show, right, is I like to establish the date of friendship with all of my guests, the DOF as it stands. All right. And so I know what the exact date is, right, because it was the date I attended what I think was your third event, Hearts and Hatchets. which was
Yes.
on April 1st, 2026. And so my question to you, which I kind of ask everybody, is what was your first impression of me at that event?
Well, I have to say that it being April 1st, there was an automatic level of humor attached to reading you, and it stuck the whole time. I can always count on laughing.
Yeah.
Like genuine belly laughs.
Yeah.
When I'm with you.
I think that's actually probably one of my first impressions too, was like, this dude's really funny and has a really good sense of humor and knows how to read the room.
Yeah.
And also, like, your embrace of our concept was so wholehearted
And immediate.
immediate and enthusiastic. And it's like, oh, we say about SOS, the girls non-gendered who get it. The people who get the cuties who get it, the guests who get it. And you were one of our first cuties who definitely just seemed to like understand what we were trying to accomplish immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I try.
I feel like you don't try hard though, because it just comes effortlessly.
It seems very
you.
natural, very organic.
Yeah, no, it's all lies. It's very practiced and rehearsed. But it's funny. So, what I remember, first of all, I was nervous going in. I was like super nervous, even though I maybe didn't show it or whatever, but I'd been to like a few singles events before, and then here I am, and I saw the irony of like throwing axes on April 1st. Like, here it's like you have this singles event with a bunch of people who are probably like frustrated in love. I don't know, let's give them all axes and see what happens.
We talked about that. We were like, this is a weird event to be
like
hosting on April Fool's Day, and it was our first activity-based one.
Yeah.
It was there were layers to that event that we were aware of going into.
Yeah, we were like, is this a good idea even? Like, are people gonna get like ragey and like,
frustrated in love?
Yeah.
It was fun, but then I also so there's two things that I kind of remember. Number one, so like, and I want to actually get into like the origin story of like SOS, and like I really want to be a fly on the wall for when that discussion happened, and I want you both to like articulate that in your own words. But for me, coming from a place of like being on dating apps and going to other events, and not having things align even the way I would like them to. For me, I was like, all right, I'm like, what if I just kind of, put on my own event here in my hometown, and then I saw what you were doing, and I'm like, I don't know, this seemed like pretty cool. Maybe I can like recruit them to help me out because I don't have the outreach here where I live that you do. And so I was like, all right, I'll make like a business card and bring it with me. And I did. And,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, I need some kind of like logo. I was like, well, I'm handicapped, so I use the handicap symbol. And then it's like, I might as well give them fair warning that I'm like kind of a nut job. So I'll take like the warning symbol and the handicap symbol and mesh them together. And there you go. And that's what I did. And, I don't know. It's I do have like a certain amount of like bravado in that regard, but I was like, these people are going to think I'm like an idiot or something.
No, you also showed up with a flyer already made for an event in Booth Bay. Like, you were like, let's do this.
Just incredibly well prepared through and through.
Yeah.
The logo is hilarious. Again, objectively hilarious.
Funny. Yeah.
Just, I hope you like add that as a visual addendum to the pod video, because like people need to see that. But yeah, I remember Gracie and I talking afterwards, and Gracie was like, Tanner did all the work for us, basically. Like, here's the event description, like suggestions for venue, like
right, like everything. And we were like, we'd kind of be stupid to not do an event in Booth Bay now. Like, this seems perfect. I also feel like the word like after we first met you at the event, not like after the event, but like you had, gone back to your group, and I think I turned to Emily and said, "He's a gem."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a gem. You're a gem of a human. Like, you're rare. You're amazing.
One of a kind.
You're sparkly AF.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I credit it all to my extensive skincare routine.
Yes.
Same, dude.
Yeah.
Don't tell
yeah.
anyone your secrets, Tanner. Don't give that to them.
It's wine and Cheez-Its.
The secrets to longevity, truly.
Let me go get a bottle real quick.
Yeah, so no, I had a lot of fun at that event, and it prompted me to attend some others, and I want to talk about my other experiences going to your events as well. But before we do that, let's talk about this. First of all, we talked about our date of friendship and like your first impressions of me. But like, how did you two meet? Like, what were your first impressions of one another?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you. Is it okay if I go first?
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
I jumped in and I was like,
I always go first on this story, so you go first.
So I'm glad you asked, because I feel like you can't really tell the story of SOS without telling the story of our friendship. And so Gracie and I both work at Apero, which is a cocktail bar here in Biddeford, where we're based. And I shouldn't dox us, but oops. I think most people know that anyway.
I feel like people know.
Bleep that out. I don't know. Well, I want to get, anyway. I'm getting distracted, but
Cheers to Apero.
Cheers to Apero.
Cheers to Apero.
The place it all began. So
Yeah.
I had been working since they opened in December 2024.
2024.
And Gracie came on a few months later as a charcuterie stylist, and I was serving. And
Valentine's Day was
Valentine's-
my first shift.
yeah, oh, see the inception of the lover girl of it all, just a natural fit.
Yeah.
So I think I met Gracie like the week after Valentine's Day, and I immediately was entranced. I was like, this human being. I've never met anyone like Gracie. Like, she is a true original. And also tells the best, craziest stories. Like, I always say, like, a Gracie story starts here and ends here. And somewhere around here, you're like, this can't get any crazier. Like, nothing weirder is going to happen. And then it just, like...
I topped myself.
Yeah, every single time. The bar is higher and higher. It's like, we have yet to reach, like, maximum Gracie story. I don't know what it's going to be or what's going to happen.
You
but...
do say that when, like, I'll be telling you a story, you'll be like, classic Gracie story. Like,
It
this
gets-
is insane.
Listen, all I'm going to say, we don't have to tell the story in its entirety. There was recently an occurrence that was very out of the norm. Gracie had a wild day, and in the middle of the story about this wild day, there was a trash can on fire, and that has never happened. I am newly minted 38 years old. In 38 years of life, I have never heard someone literally, and then proceeded to call the fire department and try to get the trash fire put out. And they were skeptical and like,
Yeah.
were not trash can fire deniers.
Fire department was like, what? I'm like, downtown Portland, there's a trash can on fire. Just, it's on fire.
That doesn't happen to anyone else.
And they were like, is a person on fire? I'm like, no, a trash can. And they're like, are there any animals on fire? No, it's a trash can.
And that's a perfect example of a Gracie story. So if her natural warmth and wit and friendliness and charm doesn't pull you in, her stories certainly will.
The chaos will.
And and I think it's really rare as an adult, or it gets increasingly rare the older you get, to find someone who like really matches your energy, has the same values as you, appreciates the same things as you. We have a lot of similar interests and preferences, and you know, we both love a good dirty martini. We both love a good horror movie. We both love our pets. Like,
and
there's
similar values.
And very similar values.
Yeah.
And so that was really how I think our friendship jumped from being, you know, having a really lovely, burgeoning, very close friendship into being essentially business partners, is because we value the same things in terms of community and friendship, as well as romance and relationships. And our friendships and our chosen family are very, very important to us both.
Yeah.
And we've intentionally cultivated really strong relationships throughout both of our lives to augment and supplement the families into which we were born. And I feel certainly like a lot of my chosen people are my family, and I think you feel that same way.
Yes.
And so that was really helpful because we didn't even have to have that conversation when we started planning SOS, because it was already there. It's something we already knew about each other, and we're experiencing about one another too, like being chosen by people, regardless of whether it's a romantic partner or a friend or a community member, but being chosen again and again.
Yeah.
Regardless of convenience, regardless of the aesthetics of it or the optics, regardless of how it fits into your life, feels really important when you're forming any sort of connection.
Yeah. And being chosen is like kind of that thing that really drives SOS. Like everyone just wants to feel chosen.
Yeah.
Like I want to feel like you're choosing to spend your time with me.
Yeah.
That like everyone's time is valuable and finite.
Mm-hmm.
And so to like have someone take time out of their life to choose you feels really good. And so that's kind of like the core behind it. But yeah, like meeting Emily at Apero, okay, like sure, I'm a storyteller, but at that time, this is like February 2025, I had an extremely, I feel like very boring life. Like that's how I feel. I was an artist and I was just working out of my home studio. And so because of that, also it's winter in Maine. So I'm not really doing much, but I was also struggling because a lot of my like friends at that time were all coupled up. They're all starting to have families. They're all doing this. So I was either like the fifth or seventh wheel going out or I just didn't because that didn't really feel good. So I wasn't going out that much. And Emily is an extremely social person. She has like the most full calendar of anyone that I know. I don't know how she finds time to relax. Like, I mean, now I have a better idea of it because I kind of know your life, but because I demand to. What are you doing? But at that time I was just like, it was something that like I wanted to emulate. Like oh my God, I want to be her. That's literally how I felt. Anytime. Also, like I work in the kitchen at Apero. So like I'm also not experiencing what's going on out in the restaurant. Like, so she would come back and like tell me, and then also tell me about her life. And I would get so excited when we were on the same days because it's like, I'm going to get to hear all about her life and what she's doing and who she's seeing. And then I'm going to go back home into my studio and not do anything.
So we just became a part of each other's lives.
Yeah. And then I started going out by myself and being like, hey, I'm going out. Do you want to come meet me? And yeah. And then eventually we did. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history.
And then
Gracie has a key to my apartment. Like that's
That's
how, which is great because I lock myself out regularly. So
I feel like though it didn't start happening until you gave me the key.
It was the universe knew. The universe knew I needed a hand. So
talk about being intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that anyway, so there's a million wonderful things I could say about what Gracie's friendship has brought to my life and what we've brought to each other. And
I'll start crying though if I get too deep into it.
We don't need to be like
special.
weepy voice for the pod, but it was around January. It was January 3rd actually was the date that you brought the idea of SOS to the table at the bar, I should say.
Yeah, we were at
the table at the bar.
Okay,
yeah.
Origin Story SOS.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Lock in. So we were at
Tuscan Table,
January 3rd. Yeah, because it was like your mom's birthday.
Which one? The South Portland or which?
Yeah,
South Portland Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right after the New Year, right?
Yeah, because we were going to go to the bookstore, and I don't really enjoy activities that don't involve alcohol. So I was like, you want to get a drink first?
Yeah, we were going to Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite outings. So we combine, I mean, I also love a cocktail. Don't get me wrong. Like, cocktail, I think we got focaccia, which is also a critical part of any outing.
You got a martini.
Yep, got a martini. So we were sitting at the bar and Gracie said, what do you think about this concept? And floated the concept, what became SOS Sick of Swiping, but
I
was
came
kind of
up with the name too that day.
was it that you
It was that time I was like I was trying to. I love alliteration. I'm kind of obsessed with it.
Blue Harbor Boutique
It's like disgusting.
and a pun or like a wordplay.
Yeah,
love, like,
I
a wordplay,
love
too.
it.
Yeah.
And like the fact, and then I said sick of swiping, and then I was like, wait, that's so cool because SOS, and it's like help, I need help dating.
Mm-hmm.
And so but this had been like forming in my brain, and to be honest, I can't take like full credit. There is another singles event group based in London that is doing something similar to what we're doing. Well, similar in the fact that it's all just open mingle. And I had been seeing this, it had been coming up in my feed on Instagram, and I was just like, this is so cool. And I had tried speed dating events. I tried a board game speed dating event. I had been on the apps. I was like, I hate all of this. And Emily and I had already been kind of commiserating in the struggles of dating. And so when I saw this, I was like, it popped up and I was like, this is so cool. I want to go. And then, oh my God, it's in London. Like, well, shit. So I just kept thinking about it and really wishing that it existed here. And then I was like, wait, what if we did it here? And that's when I like floated it to Emily, because I was like, I can't think of anyone else that I would trust more with this idea and who would like just be freaking awesome at it. Like,
we both have backgrounds in hospitality, which helps. We're
Mm-hmm.
both, I think, innately hosty people. Like, we both love to host and be warm and welcoming and accommodating.
Chatty.
Yeah. Both big yappers. Like, always, never run out of something to say, never run out of questions to ask. And also love making people feel good and warm and welcome.
Yes.
And that is a big part of our events, is making sure that everyone feels comfy. And because you can't feel cute or sexy or flirty unless you feel comfy first. And one of the I think one of the things that's important for me to mention in kind of the origin story of Sick of Swiping is that there were always a million reasons in my head, regardless of whether they were valid or not, why dating was hard for me. Like, I had in my head a bunch of reasons why it was hard for me to find a partner or hard for me to find romantic interest. And so having a friend who, as similar as we are, we're also extremely different in a lot of ways, was also facing the same kinds of challenges and not able to find someone to match their magic was very affirming. Because I was like, oh, this isn't a me problem. And I'm like, wait a second, if this objectively beautiful human being inside and out is having a challenge finding her person, maybe it's not my issue. Maybe it's not a me problem. Maybe
it's a
universal problem. Yeah. And the more we started talking to people, the more we discovered that it really truly is kind of a universal,
and that the options available weren't working.
Right. Dating apps.
That's not to say that they're impossible, right? Like, we all know that couple that like met on a dating app. We all know that couple that met at a speed dating event. Like, we're not here to like fully diss all those things.
I think there's a lane for everyone, and we say that a lot. If SOS isn't for you, we really want you to find what is for you, because we want everyone to find their person or find their happiness, whatever that looks like.
If we're not your cup of tea, that's because we're champagne.
And you need a taller glass.
Yeah.
So the bubbles are
I want to speak a little bit just towards what you mentioned about kind of everyone coming to the table with their own backstory, right? And so, for me, I've been on dating apps, right? And I'm kind of, all right, truth be told, I'm kind of all in on SOS right now. And I actually deactivated what I used to refer to as the Big Four. I did it before your event at Après. It was after the first event, and they just weren't making me feel very fulfilled. But something that, I struggle with, right, which is pretty obvious when you meet me, is I'm in a wheelchair, right? And so I have SMA, and this is SMA Awareness Month, which stands for Spinal Muscular Atrophy, right? And so there is kind of a famous YouTube couple out on the internet. I don't know if you've heard of like Squirmy and Grubs, right? But they're an interabled couple where the guy has SMA and the woman does not. They got married like a year ago. And so for people in my predicament, whatever condition, they're kind of looked at like, they're put on this pedestal of, oh, look what you could do, and that like anything is possible. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like, say that that's for everyone. I kind of put them in a box. They're famous YouTubers and they have their own thing and everyone's very different, even within the SMA community. But something I struggled with on dating apps was I'm like, all right, how much of my being in a wheelchair am I going to reveal on the app? Because I'm like, all right, if I'm straight up front about it, and the average, woman that I might be interested in, they might take one look at that and be like, that's not for me, And so it's like, I went through, phases where I would do both. Sometimes it's like, all right, maybe I'll like not post pictures of me in my chair just from like the neck up, which I think everyone kind of goes through, no matter what your situation is in life. Like all those things cross your mind. So I struggled with that for a while. So the benefit of going to, a meet cute, right, in real life is, hey, it's out in the open. Like you see me, there it is. Like we're either gonna like chat. If you chat me, get to know me, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But it's out there. And so the story I want to share is so you do have like wing people at your event. So before I get into the story, talk a little bit about the idea of wing people and what they bring to the table at an SOS event. And then I'll share my story.
Well, I feel like the idea stems from going out and having a wing person. And like Emily and I are each other's wing people. And that helps so much. I think we felt that there are a lot of people who come to our events solo. I would say the majority of people come solo. Some people come with a friend. Some people do that, whether that friend is also single or their own wing person. There's that. But we sort of felt, especially after our first event where we had 40-ish people, it was a lot for Emily and I to be able to circulate that whole room. And so we were like,
how do we answer the call to make sure that everyone's as comfortable as we want them to be, like we talked about, so that they can feel flirty, fun, cute, relaxed.
And that's what a wing person does. If you go out and you have a friend with you, you feel more comfortable and relaxed when you have that friend. So I think initially the idea of the like name like wing person was just on wristbands for cuties who were coming that were not single. Like if a single person came and bought a ticket and their wing person came as well, like and bought a ticket, we needed a way to identify who's single and who isn't. So we had that purple wristband for their wing person. And then it morphed.
We realized that we needed wing people to support our hosting. And so we started inviting folks who were either honestly friends, people that we know can hang and are not shy about making conversation with strangers and have a welcoming energy about them and a warm energy and are aligned with our values.
Like Graham was an immediate, we were like, I mean, you said, I think right off the bat, you were like, I think Graham would be a perfect wing person.
Right. And who you would have met at the Axe Pit event initially as an attendee. He came just as a friend supporting our endeavor. And he made himself he was so useful. He was teaching people how to hold and throw axes safely. He was teaching general axe safety.
We were like, okay, yes, definitely. And then we started approaching people at events that seemed like they were circulating and being like, would you be interested in doing this? And we were putting the word out that we were looking for wing people, and people were also kind of intrigued. Like, wait, I can be a professional wingman? Like, that's a thing? And we're like, we're making it a thing.
And our wing people attend the events as cuties as well, as we have been. Like, no one is excluded from the option to meet their person.
To be a single.
It's just being a little bit more aware of everyone's needs and how the flow of the evening is going, and
Yeah.
also giving us extra eyes and ears, so that we can say, hey, please, you know, we notice this person over here looks like they're feeling nervous, or this person seems a bit shy. Can you go talk to them and make sure they're having a good time? So really, it's just about expanding our ability to make sure everyone's enjoying the event and having a good time.
And we also wanted, I think another thing that feels important to say is we wanted also some male identifying like cuties, because we're two like identifying women who identify as female, and like, and so we were like, we want everyone to be comfortable, and we don't just want to like have, you know, we wanted like male identifying representatives. And so, and then that's where like Graham came in, and then we actually, one of our cuties like approached us at an event, was like, I want to do this. Can I be part? And that was Jay. Jay has been on board since like, the cuties event.
So if you are watching this or listening to this and you do happen to stumble into one of our events, you'll meet Jay, Avi, Graham, Carrie, Sydney. Those are our current wing people. We also have Ellie, who's our photographer, who works with us. So any of those folks are there to enjoy themselves and have a good time, and hopefully, well, for those who are still single, meet their person, but also just to make sure you have a good time and that you can enjoy yourself. So but I'm excited to hear what your story about that is, Tanner.
About our wing people.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, first of all, shout out to all of your wing people. I've met all of them, and they're all amazing in their own right. But I want to take a moment to give Carrie her flowers for kind of her wing person expertise in facilitating conversation at your après event. So, you know, here I am, right? And I want to kind of tie it back into, being insecure, basically, right? And this could also lend itself to anyone who's ever on the fence of like coming to an SOS event. You know, here's kind of a way to, you know, make you feel comfortable. And so, Carrie and I knew Carrie from like almost like a previous life. Okay, I used to coach basketball, and I gave her like half a dozen lessons when she was about 16 years old, and I was maybe, I don't know, 18 or 19. I can't remember. It was so long ago. So we like kind of knew each other, and we were chatting or whatever. And so then at one point in the evening, she brought me over to a table, and it was like 5 girls and 3 guys, and it was kind of loud in there, whatever. Couldn't really hear all pieces of the conversation, but everyone's getting to know each other a little bit. You know, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, here I am, this is nice. She's like trying to, you know, introduce people, which is pretty cool. And at one point, the guy sitting to my right leans over to me and he goes, hey, have you ever been to any of these events before? And the guy looks like James Franco, okay? And I don't know his name. And I know James Franco is like kind of problematic. I'm assuming this guy.
Sorry, my cat's going.
Oh no, I love a special guest. Right?
We're so jealous.
So it's so James Franco guy, he leans in and he's like, hey, have you ever been to these events before? And I was just like, yeah, I have. And he goes, he like kind of pauses, and then he leans in again and he says, do they get any easier? And he was nervous. And I'm looking at him like, motherfucker. I'm like, you look like James Franco. You know? You're gonna be fine. You know? But my point is that like everyone, no matter what you look like, everyone comes with some personal, you know, I don't even want to call it baggage, but just like unsureness, maybe, right? And
everyone's nervous.
Everyone's nervous. It doesn't matter what you look like, right? But like the common thing that, you know, you have is that. Like that's what that is. And so there's a way to kind of bond and connect with people at these events. And so I don't know, I want to thank you for creating that space for so many people. You know, I'm certainly appreciative. And I think James Franco guy is too.
Well, and it's so funny too that you mentioned Carrie for that event, because she was not officially wingmanning that event. She was attending, and like she was at that point, we had already brought her on as a wing person, but she wasn't like scheduled to work that event, but she saw how busy we were. I mean, that was our biggest event so far.
We had over 80 people.
Yeah, we had
around 80 people.
Over 80 people, and like she just, I mean, when she came up and was talking to us and we're like, oh, this is going on. The volume's a little loud in here. Like this is this. She just went and was like boss lady, taking care of stuff, doing things. She was going around the room chatting with people, and just that's the thing that we appreciate the most is the wing people who like they get it and they're like, oh, it doesn't matter that I'm not working or getting paid tonight. Like they're still believe in it. So they believe in it so much that they just step in.
Right. And they're aligned with our values. I mean,
don't put your
Jay, who approached Gracie and said, I would love to be a part of this. And then the people we already knew before the events, Avi, who came to the same event that Jay did, I think, and was just very social and outgoing and warm. All those folks just shared.
Avi's a stud, right?
Yeah,
Avi's a stud.
He's not going to be on the market for long. You know what I mean? Like he's
also going to love that you said that.
Yeah, he's a hot commodity.
Oh, no. So Avi and I. So this is the thing, right? It's like you go to these events and you meet people, and Avi is like kind of a Portland socialite. He's friends with another friend of mine, Christine, and all of a sudden I start to see them like in each other's Instagram stories, and I'm like, dude, how do you know each other? You know, because there's kind of a bit of an age gap or whatever, but like Avi's just all over the place. And so then we get chatting, and he had just seen, Portland's, cornerstone 90s band, Hello Newman, right? And so he saw Hello Newman for the first time, and he was like posting,
I grew up going to see them.
Never heard of these guys. Like, they're amazing. And I'm like, Avi. So Hello Newman, I actually hired them to play my 40th birthday party. And so I'm sending him clips, and I'm like, dude, they're awesome. And then he was like, yeah, and I know that the guitar player, Jonah Bruce, he's in a Blink-182 cover band, and they're playing live at Madrid's later this month. And so
we have to go to that.
We do have to go to that.
Yeah, Avi was asking me, he was like, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably go to that. So yeah, maybe we should all go.
We need to sidebar about an off, like a cutie, like a meetup, like an SOS, like friends and fam meetup, because that sounds like so much fun.
That does sound so much fun. We've been talking about doing that, like staff night, but with our regular cuties. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. We now have, to that guy saying, does it get easier? I would have to say there are two answers to that. Yes, it gets easier, but you're always still nervous, because Emily and I are still nervous going into events. Like it's nervous meeting new people, and like
we want to make sure everyone's having a great time. We go in with really high standards for ourselves. I know that really makes me anxious, is being able to meet that. Every event has been great, and many of our events have been better than the last. And so being able to like keep that momentum going, I put a lot of pressure on myself. And then I always come out of those events being like, wait a second, why did I do that? I had a great time. I know that I had a great time because everyone else was having a great time.
And I did the same thing. You're always telling me, like, Gracie, you don't need to put that on your
Yeah, we're doing it separately. We're locked in our own little mind prisons doing it to ourselves, even though we're telling each other not to. We did the first official unofficial afters event.
SOS afters.
At our last event at Navarre Res in Portland, we had a few folks in the crowd who we knew are karaoke regulars and karaoke fans, and we love EastEnder, where we hosted an event back in May. And so shout out to Navarre and EastEnder for being amazing hosts.
Oh my God. Amazing. And for Carl, just being who runs EastEnder or owns EastEnder, just being really, really cool with us showing up with a group.
Yeah.
Like he was like, thanks for coming. He
gave us hugs.
Yeah, he gave us hugs. Yeah. He was like, this is great. Yeah. Like he posted about it, like SOS afters.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, well, I think the vibe too, usually, and Tanner, you've seen that, like, as the night goes on, because it is a 3-hour event, you tend to see people like trickle out, or people trickle in later, or they trickle out like as it gets closer to the end. And that was not happening at the Navari event. And we were like, people are really digging this.
We had folks stick around through the end because they wanted to do the afters and go do karaoke together. And so it's become, I've met some wonderful human beings.
Oh my God, we've made so many friends.
We've made so many friends. I feel like it's becoming a true community. And Gracie says it best when she says that it's community with a hint of romance.
Yes.
And so like that hint or that possibility for me is all I need to make it an exciting night, because that's how it used to feel back in the day before we were swiping, before everything was fed to you via algorithm, when you would just go out with your friends in your 20s or what have you and just be like, I don't know who I'm going to meet tonight. I don't know who I'm going to run into. Like, let's see where the night takes us.
Because people used to go out not with the intention of finding a forever partner. That's what the apps have done. They've made it be like, I am on the search for my forever partner, and they've like monetized this being a search. And
the stress of that, the pressure.
Also, if you're putting that pressure on yourself, like I always say, and maybe this sounds harsh, but if you are coming to our event or any singles event with the intention of, I'm going to find my forever person tonight, I don't think it's going to happen, because you're putting so much pressure on yourself. And I say that with, I've been there. Yeah. I've gone to singles events like before we created SOS with this intention. Like, I just want to meet someone. Like, I felt desperate to meet someone. Mm-hmm. And I think like the way that we've changed it, and yes, originally it started out, let's make a singles event like business, this thing. And then it slowly morphed into, this is a community event with a hint of romance and flirting. Exactly. And like, because of that, it's worked for people. We have a couple who's been together since our second event, which was in March, and they're still together.
Mm-hmm. That was early March. It's now early August. So whatever the math is on that, they've been together since they gave each other their numbers at that event.
And that's not to say that it won't work meeting someone your first event. Because that was her first event. That was her first event, his second. His second event, her first. Like, it does work. I'm not knocking.
Anything is possible. And I think, speaking a little bit back to that disclosure piece that you were touching on, Tanner, about like the insecurity of like apps only showing so much, and like, it has that element of checking boxes that really doesn't work for a lot of us. I'm not a checkbox person when it comes to the people that I want to spend time with, romantically or otherwise. It's never about checking boxes for me. I never know what is going to strike my fancy or what about a person is going to be attractive in any capacity to me until I get to spend time with them, experience their energy, experience how they show up in friendship, in public. And the last person I met on Hinge that I dated that resulted in me being like, never again, I cannot bring myself to download that app. He had some stuff going on where he didn't want to disclose certain aspects of his personhood on the apps. And this is relatively, as someone looking at him, he looks like just a dude. And like, you would never know those things about him.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he felt pre-discriminated against for these aspects of his experience that he didn't want to disclose made me really sad, and also was one of those things that helped me realize like, oh, this isn't serving anyone. Yeah. Like, if this isn't serving your average Joe dude who like appears to be a cishet dude, that means it's not serving anyone, because that is the one population of humans that most things are built for. Mm-hmm. And so that really was an eye-opener for me. And as someone who, is very is in a bigger body, like, I've had the same struggles and same questions that I posed to myself, similar to you, over the years, of like, how much do I let people see? How much do I let people in? And are they going?
What photos do I choose?
What photos do I choose? What angles do I choose? How much of my body do I show?
Or will I choose? Like, you choose photos from like 5 years ago because you're like, I loved how I looked then, or I loved this.
We were talking about aging earlier, which is a very natural human thing, and you can be hot at any age, but we've been programmed to believe that's not true.
Yeah.
And so the insecurity that just putting together a dating profile on a dating app brings up so much insecurity and so much low self-esteem for most of us, I think. It feels like such a chore and so arduous for most of us that I'm like, take that energy and put it into the bravery you need to walk through the door of a live event and meet people in person. And at our
who wants to really create an ad for themselves? That's what a dating
you don't it's the most
profile is.
superficial version of yourself no matter what.
It feels
Yeah, I
awful.
mean-
Like I can
Well, I created a business card for myself, and I felt a little awkward about it. So,
but like
no,
a
I'm
dating
with you.
profile. Like a dating profile, right? Like it feels I
Icky,
could have
there's something icky about it.
you could also be a confident person. Like I feel like I'm a pretty confident person and like hate making a profile.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it's
I
like
think
a cousin. Honestly, it's like a cousin to doing something on Craigslist,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it kind of is, right? It kind of is. We are literally selling ourselves.
Yes, and it's the meat market. It feels like the meat market. And I will say, I don't expect everyone who comes to our events to have my views on dating apps. We have a lot of folks who attend and have dating apps
And are
active.
still on them.
And
Yeah,
are
and
still
that's fine.
doing Hinge dates or whatever. And like,
Yeah,
so there's no there's no prejudgment and there's no expectation that you're not doing both. Like,
Right.
do what you need to do to find what you deserve
Yeah.
and what will make you happy. It's just what we have chosen, and we knew that there were other people who would want this opportunity and this option as well. And at our last event, I was standing around with a group of people, guests, cuties, friends, and we were talking about how much we enjoy just the social and community aspect of SOS. And one of our repeat cuties, who is an extremely eligible dude and again will be snapped up any moment now, said, let's be honest, like I think all of us wouldn't mind walking into this event tonight and finding the love of our life.
Yes.
But in the meantime, this is pretty great too.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I wish I had that soundbite because that to me really captures it. Maybe we can get him to say it on camera for us.
Yeah.
But it was a really lovely summation of what I feel the experience is. Because sure, I wouldn't mind walking into the coffee shop where I got my coffee this morning and meeting the love of my life. But in the meantime, I'm still going to enjoy the coffee that I got, you know? And so for me, that's what SOS is as well.
Yes. And this is to say too, like also be open because what am I trying to say? You and I have both experienced going on dates from our events, and not all, like, some of them are not people that are guests at our events, but we're going to places where people work. Sometimes the events are also open to the public at that time. So you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
And like, we do have some repeat cuties. And like I said, we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Like we do hope that our cuties meet people and get snatched up. But like some of our return cuties were saying like, oh, well, I've been on dates from SOS. Like, it just didn't pan out. But like, and they were saying, but I at least got, like, I've been on dates and that felt good. And that's more than I've gotten from the apps. And that feels amazing because that's what real life is. Like you're meeting people, going on a date, maybe it doesn't work out, but you keep going and trying and there for the social aspect of it.
And we do have physical elements of our experiences that we use to try and facilitate that connection. So we mentioned the wristbands. Everyone wears a red wristband if they're single or a purple wristband if they're not, because we do welcome wing people of we want our cuties to bring their comfort person, or
we've had a married couple come because they just moved to the area and didn't know anyone and they were looking for social events. And they at first were like, oh, wait, it's a dating event. Like, is that going to be weird? And then, we always say it's not just for single people. And so they came, they met new friends. They had just moved to town like a week before. And so, like, it's a great way for even non-singles to meet people.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Well, I've told you this before. At your Hearts Hatchets event, I brought two wing people who were actually together. All right.
But pretended not to be.
Correct, yes. So it was my sister and her lovely fiance, Matt. And, they came, they bought they put on the singles bracelet, and then they pretended to meet each other and did a little role play night. So I would say, maybe if your romance is falling a little flat, get yourself to an SOS event and do a little role play, all right? Don't even be yourself.
She hid her engagement ring, Tanner.
I'm well aware.
It was,
It was so funny.
I mean, clearly the creativity runs in the family, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then you also told me, this was like a couple events later, you like fessed up and you were like, oh, they did this. And you guys were all talking in the car on the way there that they were going to role play that they met at our event and then be our first SOS marriage.
So
Yes,
we
that
almost
was-
had, and that's like, we
Hilarious.
never would have known.
We never would have known. Like, we would have been like, oh my God.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it. SOS
Well,
wedding.
I'm a terrible liar. I can't keep a secret at all.
neither.
So don't ever trust me with like any information whatsoever. I will tell someone. So yeah, I'm not good in that regard at all.
Yeah, the only
But
secrets I keep are your secrets. Yeah.
I wanted to mention quickly before we move on to whatever you have prepared for us next.
Gem code.
Yeah.
Gem code and our cutie cards, because in terms of the experience that we try to provide for people, those feel kind of integral to making sure it's both inclusive and also analog in a way. And so
No phone.
yeah, so we try to encourage folks to stay off their phones, because if you're head down like looking at your phone, you're not going to be looking around at the cuties surrounding
Which
you.
most people do.
Are
We
really
look
good.
around and like almost no one is on their phone.
A lot of people are gazing around nervously, but not on their phone.
Mhm.
And so we designed cutie cards, we call them, and there's space on the card for your name and your Instagram handle or phone number, whichever you're comfortable disclosing. And you have to actually engage with the physical act of giving someone your number, like back in the day, instead of being like, oh, what's your Instagram? Or like pulling out your
Hey.
phone and scrolling around and diddling around and
It
trying
says,
to.
hey, I think you're cute
Yeah.
on
and
one side.
very straightforward, to the
Yeah.
point. Most people get the gist of it pretty quickly. And then we also,
Really quick, the other reason why those cutie cards, like, we feel like they really work and the intention behind it is it also takes away the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Because, and I'll explain this, like if I come up to you and I'm interested in you and I go like, hey, can I have your number? You have to answer me face to face and like possibly say no. And like that's really scary. And it also, from your end, you could feel nervous responding because you don't want to hurt my feelings, but you also don't want to go out with me. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that fear of rejection and that feel of hurting someone on both sides from both people. But if I give you a cutie card with my phone number on it and I give it to you, you can take it and never use it. Like, there's zero fear of rejection in handing someone
no stakes.
your number. It's so
Yeah.
low stakes. And that is like the core, like, reason behind the cutie cards is we were like, how do we help people connect with like, and get rid of the fear of rejection? Because that's one of the biggest reasons why people usually don't put themselves out there, or why people don't ask someone on a date, or why people don't do this, is because they're so scared of rejection. And the sad part about that is like, you never know what the other person is thinking. So you could be terrified and the other person could be really into you. We had someone at our last event and he was like, I gotta go real quick. I gotta give a cutie card to someone before I leave. And I was like, go get it. And like, he comes back like 10 minutes later before he leaves, and he was like, I just have to tell you, I went to give her a cutie card and she had a cutie card that she was already planning on giving to me. And so you never know what like someone else is thinking, and it's so important to take that chance. But that the cutie cards, like, they get rid of that fear of rejection.
100%.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I give them out to people I just want to remain connected with.
Yeah.
Regardless of, it takes me a little bit longer than some folks to figure out whether I feel romantically towards someone or have, flirty feelings. And so often I'm just like, I know I want to be connected to this person. I want to maintain a connection or establish a relationship or a friendship.
Would love to chat more.
Right. And so I leave my Instagram handle, and if they choose to connect with me that way or text me or what have you, then I know that they also feel similarly. But it's no stakes, and it is that fully inclusive element, which we also practice with our gem codes. So because we're fully inclusive, we don't divide our head count by genders. We don't believe in a gender binary necessarily. And so we welcome everyone of every orientation and preference. And so because we are a singles event at the core, in addition to all of these other lovely elements, we offer gems that are color-coded based on your orientation. And so everyone on their bracelet can choose the gem that corresponds to their orientation. And it is intentionally subtle. It's subtle by design, and it's discreet by design, because some people aren't comfortable wearing their orientation around their neck like a big feather boa.
Mhm.
Some people don't want to disclose their orientation, so it's purely optional.
Yeah, you don't have to. The one requirement is the wristband.
Exactly.
That's the only requirement at our event. What are you single?
Exactly.
Or are you not? Yeah.
And as Gracie says, we don't want folks visually swiping left on one another. And we don't want anyone ever not speaking to someone else that they think looks cool or that they like their energy or their vibe because they're not the right orientation for their romantic preference.
Right.
Because we firmly believe that even if someone isn't your orientation or isn't dating your gender or what have you, their brother might be, their cousin, their coworker. You might make a new friend whose best friend is your person, and you might never have spoken to them otherwise if you were depending solely on matching up with someone who is like a viable,
Right.
romantic, compatible orientation or gender.
We've had someone ask, like, so it was their first event, and they're like, so should I only talk to people that have the same gem as me? And we were like, well, no.
It was a hetero person, so
Yes.
they were looking, they were like, should I only be talking to other hetero people? And it's like, well, no, because what if you meet a queer person who is of the gender you're interested in?
Yeah.
Like, and so we don't want folks limiting their own capacity for connection that way, and that's why it's by nature discreet.
Yeah.
And a little bit, you have to like look for it a little bit, because we want you to look at the person first
Mm-hmm.
and not be looking immediately for those check boxes.
And like ask details later.
Right.
Like get to know. Yeah.
Get to know, say hello, get to know them.
Right. And I think we're also trying to just continue building a world of inclusivity, because there is 100% nothing wrong with someone who is different than you. Just because it's different doesn't mean that it's wrong. And like, I don't know. And especially in the world that we're living in today, where it feels like division is becoming more and more prevalent, this is probably our number one core value, is
Absolutely.
inclusivity. And I know you saw it, Tanner. Like, I made a kind of spicy like reel a while back, and I was like, we do not plan on ever budging on this. Like, this is something we're gonna keep.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if that's not for you, then that's okay. Like,
there's another environment for you out there. It's just not ours.
yeah, there are multiple other like local singles events that you can check out, and we're here to like give them snaps. Like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, we're all, just because like you own a bookshop doesn't mean I can't like
Yeah.
own a bookshop too.
Right. There's more than enough. Everyone needs more books, would love more books.
Yeah, everyone needs more friends.
There's more than enough desire for connection and community to go around. We actually started hosting local community-based just picnics and potlucks every couple of weekends. And that was really a call from our very hyper-local community for togetherness. And we were asked by some neighbors, like, look, you guys are already accustomed to hosting events.
Would you help out?
Would you help just with establishing this new tradition within the community? It's not a singles event. It's free. There's absolutely no expectation attached. It's BYO snack or dinner or whatever your heart desires.
It's free.
Right. It's just a free gathering. There's like no structure or form to it other than communal meal sharing and like breaking bread together, basically, for lack of a better term, because human beings used to do that for centuries upon centuries upon centuries, like eating together.
And
gathering
pre-COVID,
together.
people did it more.
Way more. And so,
And like, I don't know what you're like, Tanner, if you have this experience like up in Booth Bay, where I feel like Booth Bay is a very like tight-knit community, especially in the off tourist season. Like, locals are like close. And so I don't know if you have an experience with this, but I remember as a kid, people were always knocking on the door. Oh, I was just passing by. I thought I'd like come over. Someone always brought a bundt cake. Like, and, but like, people would just always show up and then end up staying for like a meal. And that happened all the time. Now, someone knocks on my door and I'm like,
oh, yeah, what's going on?
I'm not home. It's the
You
morning.
have to tell me twice, and like, I'll give you an example, even just yesterday, about people being buried in their phones, right? So I went to the dermatologist's office, got some issues I'm taking care of, right? So I'm in the waiting area, and like I'm just not. So because I operate my chair, right? My hands operate my chair. So I'm not someone who's ever on the phone in public because I physically can't do it. So I'm engaged in like what's around me, right?
Yeah.
Well, everyone in this waiting area is on their phone,
On their
and
phone.
so me being me, I'm not one to like be silent. I'm gonna like attempt to engage people in conversation, and I take it as like a bit of a challenge. And so I see two women waiting there, and they're just like side by side, do on their phones. And I noticed that they have the same color toenail polish. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be the weirdo that asks them if they realize like that they are wearing the same toenail polish. So I'm like, hey, you
You
two,
complimented their feet off the bat, Tanner?
straight off. I was like, hey,
Whoa.
What a creep.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. That's why half this podcast is foot stuff. So they looked at me and they were like, oh yeah, we are. And then they went right back to their phones. And I'm like, come on.
You
know?
just
And
opened
so
the door for conversation and they just slammed it in your face.
I did. And here's the thing like, that would not be weird 20 years ago, but now it's weird. So I'm the weird one for wanting to talk. But you know what? Fuck that. It's like, I think you're weird for having your face buried in a screen. Granted,
Yeah.
it's a little hypocritical because people will be watching the show on a screen. I'm aware of that. But
We all use it.
yeah, but I do think there's something to be said for being more present, and that happens at SOS events. So thank you for creating that space. And everything you said was just like completely lovely and articulate, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry, we
that-
kind of we talked for the whole thing. I don't know if you had more questions.
I'm not surprised. We really know
Oh,
how to
well,
fill us in our space.
if you have time, I have a little bit of time left. So if you're good, I'm good.
Keep asking away, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me tell you my SOS fantasy. Okay, here's the thing. I enjoy what you're doing so much in terms of like community that I've had this vision where I'm like thinking, all right, is this going to be a long-term thing? Is it the kind of thing that burns out after 2 or 3 years and we move on with our lives and we stay connected? But it's like, hey, remember when we used to do this fun thing, a few years ago and it was kind of a hit, right? But my fantasy is this. I want to be in like assisted living someday. I want to be fucking like 85 years old. And
Hell
I
yeah.
want to get an email and it's like, hey, like it's SOS bingo night. And Emily and Gracie are like, down at the community hall,
Oh, no.
come play bingo. And it's like, all right, hey, get the van. I'm going to bingo. Let's go. But that's my fantasy.
You don't need to. Gracie's like biting her tongue right now because she wants to go to bingo so badly.
I love bingo.
So you're not gonna have to wait another 40 years, dude. It's gonna
Oh.
happen probably within the calendar year because Gracie's been saying once a month for like 6 months. I really want to play bingo.
I was like, I want to do it. Let's do a SOS bingo night. Like, that'd be so
I was
fun.
like, no, like we already got an SOS karaoke night under our belts, which was activity number 1. I'm not a karaoke girly. I'm karaoke adjacent. I love many people who love karaoke.
Emily is the best cheerleader.
Yeah.
And let me say, I've never seen this girl smile so big when like some of our cuties get up and like, oh my God, Abdallah. Like,
shout out Dala, who was in our most recent reel actually. So
who's a celebrity now? Have you seen the comments on that post, Tanner?
I haven't. No, I saw the reel, but I haven't seen the comments.
Oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
he is getting so much, like,
he's getting
so much
he's
press.
getting gassed up.
He's getting so much press from
Cool.
this reel that we did. Yeah, he's really cool. But you're a very big karaoke cheerleader.
Yes, I love drama kid, theater kid energy. Like I love being around people who have like a little theater kid energy. And so anyway, that was our second activity based event. We did axe throwing, we've done karaoke. I guess next up is bingo ?
Yeah, because Tanner said we should do it. So
What Tanner says goes.
Yep.
But
So
that's how it is. That's how the world works.
It's how it should work.
Right.
Like, are you so mad that Tanner suggested bingo? Because now it's like fire in my belly.
I mean, I feel like that's just that once there's a third suggestion, that's like confirmation, right? That's the universe.
Tanner, okay, at the Bayside event on Monday, you have to go up to someone and be like, you have to get them to go up to Emily and be like, hey, have you guys ever thought about doing a bingo night?
Oh,
I'll know. We know that
no,
Tanner's not good at keeping secrets.
No,
so.
no, here's the thing. How many people do you want to come up to Emily and suggest bingo night? Because I will take this as like a personal challenge. What's the over-under? What's the over-under?
I think it'll be fun. It's a bit, like, and I am committed to the bit. I have it. I'm so committed that I have it tattooed on my body. So I make it a bit, and I'm sold.
Do we want like what you do? You want like 10 people to come up to you?
I want like an absurd
amount of people to be like, you guys should do a bingo. Have you ever thought about doing a bingo?
We should see if we can get it on camera too. If we can get it recorded, that would be a really funny reel. So, you've really spurred something, Tanner.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so bingo Congo line. It's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm here to have SOS like be here for the win. I think like early on, I know that there was this thing like, okay, well, if we meet someone, like if we end up finding partners, will we continue doing SOS? And it was just kind of a question. We didn't really have an answer. And then we've been like, oh no, we're here, we're in it, because community doesn't stop at romance.
And that's one of the big I mean, that this is a special soapbox of mine, is like, just because you have a partner or a nuclear family doesn't mean that you should stop engaging with your community or your friendships. And also, if we have proof of concept delivered to us by meeting our person or people through our events, that is just more motivation for me to help everyone else get there too. Mm-hmm. Because I believe that everyone deserves the opportunity to feel chosen, to circle back to that.
Yeah.
And if I get to receive that gift, I want to pass that on to other people and pay it forward.
And not only that, the community that we are building, like our community, like you, Tanner, and like, you know, some of our other regulars, like, I just feel like these people are going to be in our lives for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like. And that's such a secure feeling.
Yes.
Like, it's not, and that's the thing about SOS. It's not superficial. Like, and I don't know, like, yeah, we always say, like, don't take our word for it, take our cuties' words for it. And we do try to, like, go around and ask them questions. Instead of interviews, we call them cutie views. And, like, yeah, it just feels like these people are going to be around. And that feels so good. And the larger community you have, like, here's something I struggled with when I didn't have that many friends, right? Like, all my other friends were all partnered up, and it was like, okay, well, what do I do? If you only have a couple friends and you feel like going out, and let's say you have like 3, you know, friends or what, which is fine. That's fine. I have few friends. But when, like, I get really sad when Emily's busy, because I'm like, well, who am I going to go out with? What am I going to do? Now I have a ton of people that I can, like, reach out to and be like, hey, you busy? And that feels so cool.
And it lowers the bar for that kind of interaction too. Like, that's something I think we've lost over time, is just the casual reach out or the casual hang of being like, hey, I'm doing this thing that I know you're vaguely interested in, whether it be going to see music or get a drink or what have you, grab a coffee, browse a bookstore. I know you like books. Do you want to come browse a bookstore with me?
And that ties into the old feeling of, like, people just stopping by your house. Like, for me, now that people travel more, like, we're in Biddeford, but, like, if I'm in Portland, I will text the cuties that I know are there and be like, hey, I'm in town. Like, that kind of thing. And that's kind of just goes back to, like, knock, hey, I was in the area, thought I'd stop by, like, that kind of thing.
Thought I'd swing through, wanted to stop by, okay if I drop by. Like, I do remember being like, okay if I drop by, like, you know, or having people do that. And so that drop-in culture almost of, or like,
bringing it back.
Yeah, like, I think EastEnder is becoming kind of a spot for us and, like, the people we hang out with. And so, because we hang out with people who hang out there.
Yeah.
And so you have that, like, oh, I'm swinging through.
We're getting to know the staff.
Are you gonna be there? Like, am I gonna see you out tonight? We're all becoming a little bit obby, if you will.
God, we just all want to be
Obby
obby.
goals. Yeah, we're just gonna start obby maxing.
Wait, in his most recent like post on his Instagram, he said summer maxing.
He loves to max.
Oh, he loves maxing.
He's maxing, yeah.
Except for looks maxing. The man doesn't hammer his face. No one do that. Nobody do that.
No.
Yeah.
So all right. I want to talk about a couple other things, and then we'll call it a podcast.
Mhm.
So part of this podcast is about like friendship and like getting to know each other, right? And so I want like the other thing I want is I want these episodes for anyone that comes on TGIF to exist in like a moment in time. It's something that like you can look back on and you can say, hey, I connected with this weird guy named Tanner once upon a time. We learned some shit about each other. It was kind of cool, and now we're friends. So one thing I do is you talk about community, right? So I have this group called the Cinema Clubhouse, where we're going to start back up again in September 27th will be our first movie. But I rent out our local theater once a month, and I show free community movies to the public. And part of it is just an excuse for me to show movies on the big screen that I've never seen before. It's a little bit selfish. But there's another part of it where I do actually hand out like scorecards to all the participants. We write down notes. We have a little open mic discussion afterwards. You can recommend a film. Last year I had a lot of recommendations for Stand By Me, so it kept showing up, so I showed that. So there is a little bit of like back and forth to it. So I'm curious, if you were to like attend one of these events, what's like each of your, favorite movie, or what's something that you would like to see on the big screen that maybe you've never seen before?
I already
Or
have my
maybe-
answer.
You have yours?
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
or maybe you've seen it 1,000 times. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
What are you?
Wait, I feel like I know what one you're gonna say.
Probably. You want to guess?
The Mummy.
Duh.
Yeah. the Brendan Fraser one.
So they did re-release it this spring for the 25th anniversary, I think, of the
That's
movie.
So crazy. 25th.
And they're of course working on the next one, the next sequel.
Mhm.
But I missed the re-release. It was a very limited run, and so pulling a selfish, as they say in Schitt's Creek, would be to see that on the big screen. But my very close second runner-up is The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't even know if I was born when it came out. I was either non-existent or very little, and so I've never seen that on a big screen.
I
But
was 11 the first time I saw that. And then quoted it for like a straight year.
oh, well, now I'm going to say a third one, which is The Labyrinth. So like those are my big three. Yeah, those are my big three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you see, I think about a year ago at Merrill Auditorium, they showed Princess Bride, and then Carrie Ells come and do like a Q&A at Merrill.
I saw
almost
that.
went-
Shut up.
I know, I forget when it was. I saw that. I think I saw it like I already had plans or something too late. And I was like, I would be so starstruck, I think,
He
because
was as you wished everybody.
Yeah.
Like he was like, they asked him a question. He was like, as you wish, I'll answer.
he
that.
is the answer to the wish. Yeah.
Oh
Sidebar, speaking of people who have aged like fine wine, I just think that he's still pretty handsome.
Yeah.
But I also love horror movies, and he, of course, was in the first Saw, which is like
Yo,
iconic.
What a pivot. An actor who can be like the lead romantic like dude in a
Yeah.
movie, and then can also be in a just
Covered-
absolute all
covered in poop.
terrifying
Trapped in
covered in
chains.
poop.
That's
Cut
versatility.
off your own.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he 172 hours it. Like,
Yeah.
he just cut off his own leg. Like, holy crap.
What's your big
mine?
screen?
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but it was the first movie that I ever saw in theaters. So I feel like it would be really cool to see again with my adult eyes. And it also would just take me back to like, yeah, that first time seeing a movie big screen is just like, and it was The Lion King.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that, like the original cartoon Disney version. I mean, and what's not to freaking love about that movie except for like the generational trauma that gave with Mufasa dying. Like there's murder in it,
That
And
movie
this is a
has
children's movie.
high highs and low lows. Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Can I suggest one addendum to your suggestion?
Yeah.
A sing along. Because you can't, I feel like you can't sit through like a classic Disney movie and not want to sing along. Gracie just did a Disney song at our last karaoke night.
I did. And
What'd you do?
I did Part of Your World by Little Mermaid, and the entire room was singing along to it because everyone knows that.
Right.
So,
Like, everyone knows that.
I'll share this a little bit of a simpatico. My first movie in the movie theater was The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I knew you were a Disney boy, Tanner.
Yeah, I was actually really upset because I remember, I mean, I was young, I was like 5 or something, and I remember that Batman was also in theaters, and I'm like, I want to be the tough guy, and like, go see Batman and Joker and, all that stuff. And it's like, no, your sister wants Little Mermaid, we're doing it for both of you, you're going to Little Mermaid. And I'm like, shit. And of course, I go and I love it. It's awesome, right?
It's
I mean, there's
amazing. Yeah. Little Mermaid is, so good.
Some of the best songs. Kiss the Girl.
Oh
Part
my
of
God.
Your World.
When I was little,
Under
though,
the Sea.
I was scared of King Trident. I was not scared of Ursula. I was scared of King Trident. I was terrified of him.
I think it's a good call. I think that's a good judgment. Yeah.
He has quick overreactions and yells.
He's angry.
There's a lot of aggro and energy there. He probably he felt well within the manosphere.
And like Ursula, I just was like, here's a girl who's just like into cooking. Like she's just got all kinds of little bottles
with her eels.
She's playing chemistry set. Like I was like, girl is just, look at her hair, look at her makeup. Like she's just having fun and people don't understand her. Like I was a big Ursula. Maybe that says something about me, but I was like
Ursula apologist.
Yeah, she's fine. Also, I get why she's pissed. Not to like really pivot into Little Mermaid. I get why she's pissed. She apparently is King Trident's older sister. So this is all like, oh no, women don't get the throne, only men do. So I get why she's pissed. I get
Justifiable rage, yeah.
Yeah.
Feminine rage.
She's supposed to be the
queen, for feminine rage.
Yeah, and they just vilified her, and she goes, "Oh, you're gonna make me a villain? Fine, I'll be a villain."
Yeah,
I mean that's Maleficent too.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Stay tuned for our offshoot podcast.
All female Disney villains have like a really good reason for being bad, except for Cruella. Girl kills puppies. Like, there's no excuse for that.
She doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
We have a podcast that's just apologizing for Disney villains, for Disney women villains, like, and like why we stand behind them. Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, Lion King, but I also would really love to see big screen The Birds.
Oh yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really weird. So I grew up the way like Booth Bay is situated, like our school system is across the street from our YMCA. So when school ended, if you didn't want to go home, which I never wanted to do, all the kids would go over to the YMCA. And like basketball was a big part of my youth. I mean, you saw that little montage in the opening, video, whatever. So people would play basketball, but every once in a while they would have movie days, right? And so I remember being like, I don't know, 9 years old, and for some reason,
did they play The Birds?
They reel out a cart, like TVs, just like tube TVs on a cart, and they plug it in, and it was The Birds, and we watched it at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
How old were you?
Like 9.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then, my mom picks me up at 5. How was your afternoon? Good. We watched The Birds.
She's like, what?
To have a talk with the programming director at the Booth Bay Y.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, my grandmother showed me Rear Window when I was 3.
Ooh.
That's gonna have a formative effect, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm a spooky girly. Because I like Hitchcock movies, like, at a young age. But, like, yeah, that's terrifying. And that's one of those ones, too, where you have no idea why it's happening. Like Jaws, there's no reason. Like, it's a villain with no reason for being a villain.
Sure.
Birds just
Well,
attacking you.
so the first movie we're going to show for Cinema Club in September is Freeway. Have either of you seen Freeway? You know what that is?
Freeway. Wait, that's not the one with like the evil truck following people, is it?
No, that is, what is that called? It's not, I know what you're thinking of. That's like Steven Spielberg's film before Jaws, I
Okay.
believe.
It's a Maximum
Um,
Overdrive.
Is
No,
no,
that
that's from
one?
That's
the
Stephen King.
Maximum Overdrive's from the 80s.
Okay.
Um,
But
I
you know
know
the
what
one
you
I'm talking about, but it's not Freeway. Okay.
It's not, no, no. So Freeway's from the 90s. It's from 1996. And I saw it in college, and I'm actually having my college professor, Kate Kaminsky, come down and do like a Q&A afterwards on the film.
Oh,
But
cool.
it stars a young Reese Witherspoon, and it's a retelling kind of like Little Red Riding Hood, okay? And
Oh.
she gets picked. She's basically like a teenage prostitute, okay? And she gets picked
Edgy.
up on the side of the road by Kiefer Sutherland, who's the big bad wolf, all right, who murders prostitutes. But let's just say it doesn't really go so well for Kiefer, and Reese kind of
Good.
flips it on its ear, and it is a batshit bonkers, crazy, fun, psychotic movie.
Oh
And
my
that's what we're showing.
God. Kiefer Sutherland scares the shit out of me in movies, like because he's played like bad guys before. And I don't know what it is about him, but movies that I've seen him in where he's a bad guy, I'm shook after.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
no,
it's the name. I'm like, what the fuck is that name?
I think maybe he's just a good bad guy actor.
Yeah.
or maybe the eyebrows. I don't know. He's got like that permanent kind of, scowl thing going.
Yeah, he
But
does. Yeah. I never
yeah,
watched 24 because I was always really scared of Kiefer Sutherland.
yeah, it sounds like I don't know, kind of an investment. I'm not into it.
But
Um,
that's exciting that that's going to be the first
Yeah, that sounds great.
film you're going to watch.
yeah, I mean, the only thing is like Bute's kind of an older population, so I'll probably turn off like half my audience, or be responsible for a bunch of I don't know cardiac arrest, but whatever. We'll get to it. But all right, so I want to ask one final question that I ask all of my guests. Okay, and so this one's a little bit deeper. So in 2008, my grandmother passed away of lung cancer. Right, and when she was on her deathbed, she said something that I found like pretty profound. She said, "My only regret in life was that I didn't allow myself to have an ice cream sundae every time that I wanted one." And she really meant an ice cream sundae, but I took it now in this like metaphorical sense. So my question to each of you is, what is your ice cream sundae? If you can't answer that, then you can answer it in the context of, what is maybe on your bucket list, or just what fulfills you.
Mm. I have one. Do you
Go.
need a minute?
Go for it.
Okay. My ice cream sundae would probably be like to that effect. Like, I hate that I have stopped myself from wearing certain articles of clothing or outfits because I was worried about what other people would think. And that was something that I like wanted to take into this year that I decided to was like dopamine dressing, like not worrying about the environment I'm in. Like I, have spent a lot of time in Bermuda and I love how loud and colorful everyone dresses there. And then I remember like getting some outfits there and bringing them back and like never wearing them because I was like, the flannel community will not be okay with this. and it made me sad because I was like, well, I really love that. I want to dress like this. And so I've now decided like, screw it. Like I want to wear exactly what I want to wear. I want to like I want to look on the outside the way I feel on the inside. Yeah, that would probably be that one. And also probably maybe to be literal about it, mashed potatoes. I'm sad that I didn't have mashed potatoes every time I wanted them.
So we need to now include at every SOS event the mashed potato table. That'll be right next to the cutie card table.
Oh my God. For my 30th birthday party, my mom got me it was like a build your own Sunday bar, but it was mashed potato
That's brilliant.
Sundays. So it was like a mashed potato table and it was like build your own. I was like, oh, any big party or event that I ever have in my life is having a build your own mashed potato bar.
When Gracie turns 40, she said she wanted to go to Vegas, but instead we're going to have a bingo and mashed potato party.
I feel
There
like
you
that's
go.
equal to.
We could do it in Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Vegas, see the Backstreet Boys, and get my hair done by JVN, but I feel like bingo and mashed potatoes is like pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably get JVN to play bingo.
Yes, he could.
New bucket list item.
Okay, sorry. What's yours?
I feel like in a lot of ways this summer I'm kind of living my ice cream sundae because I quit my job. I had worked for the same company for 8 years. I loved it. I love the company. I love the people I worked with there, and my boss. Like, it wasn't because I was mistreated or desperately unhappy. I just needed to chase my own happiness, and
change.
And I needed a change, and I felt like certain things in my life weren't happening the way I wanted them to or at the speed that I wanted them to. And I kind of started to feel like it wasn't that I wasn't pushing myself in the right direction or manifesting the right things or whatever, however you look at that. It was that I wasn't thinking big enough and I wasn't chasing my happiness, and I was being risk averse, and I was trying to take the safe, practical route through life and do, I've always been very high achieving and really valued security and stability over everything. And so I was able to, the timing worked out that I was able to leave my career and focus on things that fill my cup, including SOS. And that's been incredibly scary because I am, for the first time in my life, without a path or a practical set of steps to take. But it has also allowed me to really kind of expand my horizons and my chances at living the life that I want to build for myself. So I think that that's a little bit of my ice cream sundae for sure. Like, I think that the ultimate Sunday, the Sunday at the end of that journey, sorry, Tanner, has yet to manifest. But I feel like I am at the Sunday bar building the Sunday right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the make your own Sunday bar kind of building it as I go.
I like that.
What would your literal one be? Like a food item?
Oysters maybe. Like, every time I wanted oysters, like actually getting oysters, or sushi. Because I always feel like I'm waiting for a special occasion to eat sushi, and I just need to eat more sushi.
What's your food one, Tanner?
My food one?
Yeah.
Like if I'm on like death row and I get like the last meal. Is that what we're talking?
Well, like the food that you didn't get every time you wanted it.
Yeah, if it was your ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
I've been eating a lot of nigiri this summer.
Ooh.
But and I've been leaning more towards salmon than tuna recently, which I was more of a tuna dude, but now I'm kind of into the salmon.
Yeah.
I don't have much of a sweet tooth, to tell you the truth. If I'm going with like ice cream, my default. Actually, I will say this: I love Dairy Queen because Dairy Queen sundaes, they give you the perfect amount, right? Where it's like I don't want a ton. I just I like the amount that comes in a Dairy Queen sundae.
Yeah.
But for food, if I'm like being like super literal, gosh, fucking tater tots.
Oh yeah.
Tater tots. I'll be happy.
I love an event that has tater tots.
Tater tot poutine, or like some sort of embellished tater tot. If you like,
I like it.
Stuff.
Drizzle some truffle oil. Truffled tater tots.
Yes. Oh my God! Remember tater tot day in school?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Those were the days.
That was like the best freaking day. That and French toast stick day.
Oh yeah, French toast sticks are still lit.
Yeah.
You could have a back to school SOS event in a school cafeteria.
See, you should be on payroll for all. You're like an idea machine.
Right? Tanner, do you want to tell them about our upcoming Booth Bay event?
Yeah, sure. So, if you like sushi, they'll have it there at Coastal Prime in Booth Bay Harbor, Maine on September 12th. It's going to be a Saturday event. We're going to do a little day drinking on the deck, 2 to 5, and we want to pack that thing. That thing has space for 100 people. So,
So
once we
let's
get the
go.
info, yeah, once we get the info out there, let's roll and come down to Booth Bay and have a good time with SOS. Chat with Gracie, chat with Emily, chat with myself. I'll be there. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So,
Yes.
anything else you want to give a shout out for or final words?
Well, one real quick thing. Earlier, you were talking about like how this podcast is like all about like friends and how they've been there for you. And I did want to like, give you a little compliment on especially and how like we've built friendships at SOS events and then meeting you through SOS. But it's really easy, or it has been, to also build like deeper connections with some people at our events, and you being one of them. Like this year I have struggled with things going on. Like my dad was in a very bad accident and has been injured, and his recovery is a very long road. And like one thing that is really cool about you, Tanner, is like you're really good at reading people. And you came up to me at one of our events and I sat down with you and you like checked in. You were like, are you okay though? Is like, because I do feel like we try to keep the events really light and happy, and that can be hard when we're going through personal things. And it meant the world to have like you check in on me. It was just really, really nice. And you like checked in a bit later and you were like, how's it going? You remembered the day that my dad was coming home from the facility that he was in, and it just really like touched me and meant so much. And that just is further proof that real friendships and connections can be made at our events as well.
Yeah, you're a really good friend, and
Yeah.
I think that a friend to SOS and also to us individually, and that shouldn't be overshadowed by the greater message of the podcast, because even just having a venue or a forum in which that is truly just dedicated to your friendships and connections, I think speaks volumes about the way that you live your life. And your values are so clearly aligned with our values in that regard. It's just been a very natural affinity, I think.
And then just proceeded to make me laugh and bring me out of that funk, like right after, by saying, like, yeah, this wine kind of tastes like cat pee. And drinking it anyway because fuck it.
Yeah, we were not about the Sauvignon Blanc at that event.
Yeah, no, that was a rough one. Yeah.
Well, hang around me long enough, and don't worry, I'll disappoint each of you eventually.
Hardly.
No, don't believe it.
Yeah. Well, listen. This has been a lot of fun. This has been the longest show I've ever done. Which
We're so
is
chatty.
great. I love it. There are no limits, and there are no limits at TGIF, and there are no limits at an SOS event. So I just want to take a minute to thank everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us. I hope you found our conversation invigorating, enlightening, educational, informative, inspirational. Maybe it was just background noise. You are free to consume it however you like. But most of all, I want to thank Emily and Gracie for being a friend.
Oh, thank you for being a friend,
Yeah,
Tanner.
thank you for being our friend and our like forever SOS cheerleader. Like you're one of our most our biggest supporters, and it means the world because this is still new. We're still in our first year.
It's still our passion project. Yep. It's still our love child. And the way that we have our wing people who are there to wingman the guests at our events, our cuties at our events, you're like a wingman for SOS in its entirety that way.
Yeah.
And we'll see you Monday at Bayside Bowl, which is our next event in Portland on the rooftop.
Yes, 6 to 9 p.m. Let's go.